It's time for the final round, and we are on the draw. Volcanic Island, Simic Growth Chamber, Rakdos Signet, Hymn to Torek. Not a perfect hand, but I kind of like it. I don't like the idea of discarding, but we have the mana set up, and the colors are fine as well, even though Hymn to Torek is looking a bit difficult to cast. Control Magic, yeah, I think we're just keeping this. Who likes to mulligan anyway? Any untapped land is superb. Even if we don't draw and we still have the Growth Chamber to play. Doesn't look like we're getting immediately punished. In fact, we draw an untapped black source, so really nice. Potentially just playing the Hymn on turn 3 with the Rakdos Signet maybe. Mystical Tutor. Yeah, no need to play that now. We actually have Fact or Fiction in hand, so... And from the looks of it, we are facing a control mirror, so this Hymn to Torek could be absolutely huge. Considering Mysticaling for another discard spell, but let's see what the Hymn does to our opponent first. Oh, we actually drew the Demonic. That's quite nice. I won't be able to float blue into Mystical this turn. Ah, there's worse things. The Hymn also could get countered here, but I want to get some cards out of my hand. And if this gets met by a Forbid or something, not too concerned. Control Magic probably on the weaker side in this matchup. Demonic Tutor probably on the better side. Looks like playing Mystical Tutor just to get another discard spell is the way to go in this matchup. Yeah, it's actually a Forbid, so we hadn't seen that so far. Gonna take the Swamp, because there's always the option of playing Mystical in your upkeep. Don't think that's what I want to do though. Oh, Sorin. Okay, now I maybe do want to Mystical. The easiest way to deal with Sorin is to just get, what's it called, Dreadbore. Could also Earthquake, but I don't have enough mana to do that, so getting the Dreadbore seems very solid. A single 1/1 lifelink creature isn't going to put me into too much trouble. Or we could actually cast the Demonic here, if we tap correctly once in a while. What do we want to Demonic though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So we are going to get our mana. That's not the problem. Maybe another 6-drop just to overload on that kind of stuff. Doesn't seem bad. Let's see. Let's just make the right mana, and then Demonic, playing the blue. Now, Thoughtseize is an option, but I don't think it's powerful enough. Snapcaster Mage is just pure value with the Fact or Fiction and the Hymn to Torek and Demonic Tutor, and might just be the best card to get. Probably even better than a 6-drop. I mean, Snapcaster just does everything at this stage. I think I want that. Also gives me a Dreadbore to reuse. There was a Gideon Jura in the draft, so definitely possibility that we could just be facing down another Planeswalker next turn. Caracas. Don't think that's a problem for us. Okay, it's Venser. Probably just Dreadboring that anyway. That can't be an ever-growing amount of these things. Now, drawing the land means that playing Sphinx of Jael is probably the way to go. It's very likely to just get through the Venser. Venser is very good against Control Magic. This is something that I have to keep in mind. But I think I can risk this. Yeah, it doesn't feel particularly risky. Also gives me some sweet, sweet information about the top of my library. So mass removal still gets the Sphinx, of course. And Venser is ramping up to ultimate, so kind of like having something on the board here. Okay, what is it? Is it Gideon? Maybe that would be fun, because then we dread by the Gideon and attack the Venser. Oh no. A Shroud creature for our opponent. This was pretty much a worst case scenario. Earthquake is really good against Planeswalkers also. But I think I'm forced to just trade these two. Threatening to attack Venser and then getting the Dreadbore back. It's up to 7 mana, so I'm just one short of Factor Fictioning. Really bad use of my mana. Could also Factor Fiction, but I want to draw the Earthquake, so I don't want to include the Earthquake into a Factor Fiction split if I don't have to. Yeah, I also don't know if this stuff is resolving, but this trade is one that I'm happy to make. It's also a very easy block, yeah. So Dreadbore feels better than getting anything out of our deck. I want this Venser gone. Makes me nervous, so just gonna do this now. So Venser goes down. Now there's still the potential for a third Planeswalker in my opponent's deck, but I'm drawing Earthquake with 7 mana in play. So I can deal 6 immediately. And I'm not just dead to any kind of Planeswalker. Upheaval. All right. That didn't look like something that... Oh, Mox Sapphire. All right. The Mox Sapphire does make it a lot more appealing. Don't think that was too bad for us. I mean, Upheaval can be a lot worse, that's for sure. Keeping control, I'm keeping all the spells. The Growth Chamber seems really weak, although quite potent. I want to Rakdos Signet on turn 2. I want the blue source, that's kind of the thing. So maybe discarding the swamps wouldn't hurt me. Feels kind of greedy. Yeah, why not? It's just likely that we draw into more lands, and drawing more spells is good also. Hopefully there aren't like some insane tempo plays. Like this Mox Sapphire after the Upheaval was definitely Ancestral Recall. This guy has it all. And I have nothing. I tried to get a comparable amount of power cards, I just didn't see any. So this is what I'm working with against Mox Sapphire and Ancestral Recall. Strip Mine. You still have the Simic Growth Chamber, so it's unclear. Okay, it gets sacrificed immediately. Well, I don't know if that's too bad for us. Would have hurt more to lose the Growth Chamber, I think. This might be a matchup. Oh boy. Ancient Grudge. About now, maybe? No. think we are dead here. Crucible. Kind of need to get this Badlands into my hand so that I have an untapped source to play. Yeah, this isn't a lot of fun. Just gonna play the Simic Signet and the Growth Chamber to get back this land. Now we're losing the Growth Chamber, but we have an untapped land. So if we draw Ancient Grudge next turn, it's still good. Otherwise, yeah, it's not looking too good. Gonna be honest. Swamp. So we are stuck on 3 lands, which is kind of the worst case. We could cast a Gruul Signet though. That would at least allow us to snapcast to Demonic at some point, or actually Fact of Fiction, which could also get the Ancient Grudge. Yeah, I think we have nothing better to do. It does mean that the opponent isn't doing too much either. Maybe I should have Earthquaked here already. Didn't really think about that, but Earthquaking for 1 would have been a pretty nice play, I think. Getting rid of the damage, but the Snapcaster Mage does the same thing. Divining Top. Yeah, my opponent is really up for some fun. One Power Stone. So this is probably the card that we have to play if we want to be in this game, because it makes it possible that we can play this game without being strip mined. Well, without being strip mined every turn, basically. Yeah, I should have Earthquaked for 1. That was just an oversight. Okay, probably wouldn't have happened, but we tried. At this point, don't think there's too much that can help us. This is a great card. Sense Divining Top is just absolutely amazing. Alright, I can still cast Earthquake with any untapped land. The Abyss, nice. Okay. My opponent's deck is absolutely bonkers. And I have no idea what I should do. Old Man of the Seas doesn't look too bad against what he's trying to do. Nether Void, Hypnotic Spectre. I'm gonna need a lot of help here. All of these cards are potential cards to bring in. The Growth Chamber doesn't look too good against Strip Mine Crucible, but don't think that's a major problem. I think that's still we can still deal with that. Pyroclasm doesn't seem necessary. I want to keep Earthquake because of the interaction with Planeswalkers. Abyss, probably not. Better Skull, I don't know. Better Skull just doesn't seem great, but Control Magic also doesn't. We are basically losing to whatever our opponent does once he has us in the lock. So I want to be more proactive than these cards allow me to. And then I probably just have to take all the cards that give me some potential at winning. I like Old Man of the Sea because we have seen multiple good targets for it. I like Memory Jar. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes it's just absurdly powerful. Void still, well, Void is always a card that looks okay, but never amazes me, to be honest. And then there's the good old Venser, which we've had a couple of times and it never made it. it's also not really good to get out of any kind of lock or anything. And I want to rely on my discard spell to win this game if I can, not on delaying things for one turn. Still need to cut one card, and that's actually kind of difficult. Maybe it's actually Bone Shredder. Haven't seen too much from the opponent. Yeah, let's just risk it. Who needs the Bone Shredder? All right. Do we want to play first? Yeah. I think I have to play first. It's not that I'm super happy about it, but against the deck with Ancestral Recall, Mox Sapphire, and Crucible of Worlds Strip Mine stuff, I just want to get on the board. That's all there is to it. Not gonna pay 2 life here, and I'm waiting with the Brainstorm till later. Underground Sea was a good draw, of course. So next time we'll have the option Hippie or Old Man, and Hippie is probably the card that we want. Could get countered here, but just gonna play out everything I have. That's basically my game plan. And no turn 2 play doesn't necessarily mean there is a mana leak waiting for us. It's just okay. This isn't targeting us. So my opponent just showing us that Hypnotic Spectre is a bit weaker than Ancestral Recall. On the other hand, this might force a discard. No, Mox Pearl. This doesn't really feel fair. This game is just pretty unfair. So Hypnotic Spectre should probably hit my opponent just to get the random discard. That's at least a way to win this game. And then we play an Old Man, and then we want to play Better Skull, but that forces us to attack Sorin already. Yeah, so maybe brainstorming this turn is what we need to do. Let's just do it. Hopefully finding something here. Might be a bit too desperate. Oh, an Earthquake. That's something that we can work with. I mean, there's no shuffle effects or anything, but still could have been a lot worse. Still running out the Old Man. Then Earthquake for 2 is an option. Yeah, seems pretty good. I also like that I have all the best lands in play. That's something. Now the random discard. Get it. Yeah, Upheaval is gone. It's a small victory. Two Moxen, at least 2 Planeswalkers. Ancestral Recall. How did this guy get all this stuff? And this is probably the more of that copy, so Hypnotic Spectre might get... No, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you copy the Hypnotic Spectre when I have Old Man of the Sea in play? Interesting. If I Earthquake for 2, this probably just turns into Old Man of the Sea. Interesting. If I attack with Hypnotic, my opponent might try to turn this into a Hypnotic Spectre, but then I'm just taking it and dropping Better Skull. Yeah, I just have to take that line. Sorin isn't on 6 yet, so not too scared. Aetherling goes down. So the one thing that isn't too great is when this goes up to 6 and I don't play the Signet this turn, then I can only Earthquake for 5. But I have the feeling that this should be enough to kill Sorin with the help of all the other stuff that I have. Could also be that Batterskull is getting countered. But you only live once, so let's see what happens here. What I'm really unsure about is at which point I should try to get the what I expect to be the shapeshifter. Oh, an emblem. That's interesting. Creatures you control get +1/+0. So now I'm taking the Old Man of the Sea. Taking the morph in response. Let's see if that works. Wasn't expecting an emblem at all because it doesn't really fit the strategy of what my opponent is trying to do. But I can see that it's quite powerful. This could actually be an Exalted Angel for what it's worth. Then I might have misplayed this pretty badly. No, it's Resumed Shapeshifter, so I don't really... Did I mistake? This is a complicated card, but... Okay, so... Opponent played this and then committed suicide by copying the germ token. I think I'm more than fine with that. This is a May ability anyway, so it could have suicided any time. Don't think I gave up too much value there. Faith Feathers on Hypnotic Spectre. Yeah. Somewhat unfortunate, but not the end of the world. We can actually equip Batterskull to Old Man of the Sea, and then it's capable of taking over anything it wants. Land, not too nice here. Earthquake for 2 or for 1 is both great, then Soaring goes down. Taking a Vampire is also a nice option. Maybe just taking a Vampire and then attacking with the attacking Soaring with Batterskull is also a nice line. Well, I'm gonna do it that way. I don't want to Earthquake yet. It just, well, am I scared of Sorin just putting up another ultimate? Is that something I should be concerned with? No, I think that's not how I'm losing this game. The Sorin ultimate is not the ultimate. The Sorin emblem is powerful, but I think I can beat that. Okay, that's a chump block by a single Vampire. Basically what I expected. It's also possible that the emblems are just being used to make it more difficult for me to steal creatures. Well, I don't know. Kind of out of gas here, so do need to find something. Maybe the Brainstorm was a bit premature once again. Looks like my opponent is passing the turn. Just gonna snatch up one of these vampires, if that's the case. Alright. I actually don't know if this This is a good line. Could have killed Sorin a lot easier by being more aggressive with my Earthquake. But I had some high hopes for that Earthquake. Oh, Sour of Temptation. That's nice. Yeah, we couldn't really have prevented that. Even with an untapped Old Man of the Sea, we wouldn't have been able to do it. So, yeah, we just lose this guy. And now I thought that we would lose the... Oh, okay, so if the Old Man of the Sea untaps, I think then we lose the Vampire. Drawing so many lands, it's probably about time to Earthquake here. Soul of Temptation isn't going to block the Germ. That would be very surprising. Giving the opponent some life also doesn't seem amazing. All right. If this Vampire connects with Sorin, then I don't need to kill my Better Skull token, but it's getting blocked anyway, so wouldn't have mattered. Oh, the Sour is quite risky there. So let's see, I need 3 to return this, so I can easily Earthquake for 4. Could just Earthquake for more, just keeping open 3. That plays around Mana Leak all the same, and deals more damage, and I'm winning the race by a little bit, so yeah, why not? Doesn't make a big difference, but this is 3 and 5, so X is 5, alright. Doesn't kill the Sour, sadly, but not too concerned. So I think I just dealt myself an additional point of damage, because I wanted to redirect to Sorin anyway. That was probably not optimal, but who knows. Now we have this emblem, which we could have prevented with an earlier Earthquake. 3/2 flyer. Maybe an Exalted Angel? No. Opponent would have tapped differently for an Exalted Angel. Oh, this is going to be a Void Mage Prodigy. How unfortunate. Didn't want to face that at this point in the game. Now the Better Skull is getting countered, and if the opponent sacrifices the Soul of Temptation, which is also a wizard, then there's even more cards getting countered. Really unfortunate. At least the pressure is a bit lower. Alright, Cryptic Command. That's interesting. I thought that it was super important for my opponent to counter this Better Skull. Doesn't look like that's a big concern. This keeps me in the game almost indefinitely though. Well, to be fair, once it dies, then it can be countered again. Oh boy. Target player sacrifice a creature and then has rebound. Let's check on Void Mage Prodigy. What exactly is the cost on that? it's, oh, it is more of a single blue and then it's double blue to counter. So the triple blue is definitely enough. So I just want to sacrifice Hypnotic Spectre here. Don't care about the life. Taking some damage. Mock Sapphire. Consecrated Sphinx. And now the thing is, I'm afraid I just have to run it out there and get it countered. Because if I'm not getting it countered, I'm not doing anything on this board. And then the Better Skull is getting countered. And everything just gets worse and worse. I have more than enough late game cards left in my deck, so forcing the counter out of my opponent's hand here, or at least a sacrifice of the Sword of Temptation. Who would have guessed it's Void Mage Prodigy? Now I can also just activate the Better Skull in response to the Vapors, so that there is no life being gained. And we can F6, which is some additional value. Alright, we have the opponent down to 1 card plus a random card drawn. And the Better Skull might get countered here. And then we have Inferno Titan. That seems better than Better Skull on this board. I'm expecting this to get countered. I can't really believe. Yeah, this just makes sense. Alright, Inferno Titan has to get the job done. Fair board so far. Dalton Shackles, are you kidding me? Power less than or equal to the number of islands. 4 islands. Alright, Memory Jar. Alright, things are getting crazy. Just playing the land now that I've drawn the Memory Jar, I don't know if that's important. Okay, at least the Titan kills relatively fast, and Memory Jar is a nice backup to have. Basically refueling and maybe milling the opponent, who knows. Our main plan though is to just win with 2 huge hits here. Don't think I want to overdo the pumping. Also because of Shackles. There's only 4 islands, but okay, forbid. Alright. If this doesn't deal with the Titan, then okay, it does. Ancient Grudge, that's a good card to have. Don't think I want to cast it now. No need to give away the information. Oh, I thought I was doing quite well, but Forbid, Vindicate in conjunction were quite powerful. So this is my only green source at this stage. The thing is, getting rid of Mox Pearl or Mox Sapphire does effectively nothing, so I'm not willing to waste my Ancient Grudge flashback. What I could do though is cast this now and see if it resolves. If it gets countered, I can still flashback immediately. That kind of seems worth it. Don't think I can beat Shackles if this game goes long, so probably a good idea to get this over with. Man, the memory jar would have been so good also. I just couldn't think of my opponent having another counter spell. But as it turns out, I was wrong. Strip mine. Yeah, the Crucible is still in my opponent's deck. Inquisition, not a great draw, but at least we can see the hand. That gets countered, resolves. Pass the turn. No Crucible, please. Basalt Monolith is fine. 1 Power Stone. Go. We have the Shroud Sphinx. That's basically what we are drawing towards. Play that. Godless Shrine is fine. Demonic Tutor is a good draw. Alright, Sphinx of Jara is basically what we have to win with. All the other cards aren't going to do it. Snapcaster Mage. Don't even know if that's... Yeah, we can't really get our threats back. Just going to try to win with the Sphinx as soon as possible now. Everything else is going to be really awkward, really, really difficult. Alright. Pass the turn. It also kills into swings, so that's very good. We are safe from Crucible now. It has Shroud. So, who knows, this might do it. Also, we have 6 minutes left for game 3. Adakar Waste looks to be the draw for the turn. Now, any kind of mass removal effect or edict effect still kills the Sphinx. Revelark? Holy cow. With Evoke even? Sour of Temptation? That doesn't make any sense. What else is there? Angel isn't getting back. Voidmage Prodigy is fine, but... Oh, Vesuvian Shapeshifter is 0 power. Oh my god, how good is that? That's absolutely amazing. And a counterspell. We need Mishra's Factory here. Oh boy. I'm drawing into Fact, but the problem is, if I cast Fact of Fiction, I'm the one getting milled first. Oh, there's the Factory. Great. So, with the Factory as our next draw... Oh man, the Crucible is still out there. I'm not sure... if my opponent would maybe counter the Fact of Fiction with the Voidmage Prodigy. On the other hand, the Voidmage Prodigy doesn't really matter. Yeah, it just doesn't matter. If I cast Fact of Fiction here, I'm just giving my opponent the chance to win very easily. And I don't want that to happen. I might still lose this very easily, of course, but can I play Mishra's Factory? That's the big question. Can I play it to put pressure, or do I just play it to block Voidmage Prodigy? I think I just play it here. It seems kind of weird, because the Crucible is a problem, but at least the Crucible doesn't win my opponent the game. It's cards like this that I'm afraid of, that I'm just dying to, and I can't afford that. So now I take less damage and I can resolve another spell, maybe even a Snapcaster Mage. Okay, yeah, because this attack would never made sense otherwise. Still don't have a green source for Ancient Grudge, and I don't think that I can Fact. Mystical Tutor, that could be good. Mystical, what did we bring in? I don't really have time to look through this. Discard spells, removal, Yeah, nothing too interesting right now. Just gonna pass. I could use the Mtgo to survive, of course. But right now, my opponent has 6 more draw steps, so I would die to this, but I have a couple more turns here. All right, Trinket Mage. Does it find something, or is everything gone from the deck? Wouldn't even be good to find something, I think. Oh, Sensei's Divining Top. All right. So now Effect of Fiction leaves me with 5 cards in my deck, and that would still kill me, so I'm not going to cast that. I think I took out most of the mass removal, so I only have him to Torek left. That's embarrassing. Do I want to draw this? Don't think so. Yeah, I'm probably just dying to these attackers now. But if I cast Factor of Fiction, is there anything that prevents me from getting decked? Snapcaster Mage on... No. There just isn't anything. Snapcaster Mage on Earthquake, is that potentially lethal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12? Alright, that's our plan. Putting this on top or not. Just gonna put it on top because I want to fact it away. Get this stuff out of here. Alright, I'm afraid that I'm not winning game 3 even if I'm winning this one. I'm down to 3 minutes, so all these lands or Solemn Simulacrum. Solemn is better at finding Snapcaster Mage and surviving, so I'm taking that. Okay, activate Sensei's Divining Top. This doesn't feel good, but I think it's the line that I have to take here. Trinket Mage can actually bring me down to 13. There's the Crucible. So now Steward Mine comes back and deals with Simic Growth Chamber. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 mana. So right now I can Earthquake for 9. Can't block, won't block. I still have Luter Ilkor in this deck. With the 3 cards, I'm drawing towards that. Yeah. So now the Solemn is actually getting in there. Is that true? Yeah, it is. I need to get that one more point of damage in. At least. Now the Ludo looks like it's killing me. But this might be the turn where I somehow miraculously win with an Earthquake, a flashback Earthquake, for exactly lethal. After, or is this a May? Yeah, it's a May. And this is not a May. Okay, good to know. So now my opponent does something here, probably beats me down a little bit. I think I can win this. I also think it's super close, but the fact that it's possible makes me proud, so. Wrath of God with my opponent on 8. So I need to draw Snapcaster, but I also need to cast the Earthquake. So it can only be a draw. Can't win from this position, because I won't be able to attack. Alright. Doing some more stuff. Don't know what this guy's up to. I didn't count my mana again, but I think... I have enough to draw the game. I'm not sure though. Maybe I'm missing one because of all the strip mining, but then that's fine as well, so who knows. Play it for 8, play around 4 spike, and the game is a draw. Well, that was fun, but now I think I'm just dead. I'm just dead to the clock. Kind of unfortunate. Maybe I want Bloodghast. Maybe I just want to press F6 as fast as possible. Maybe I want the Abyss. I don't know, guys. This is probably just me losing the game slowly and painfully. But I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to try it. So we are on the draw. We're keeping this. F6ing. Now you get to see basically a cube match in absolute turbo mode. And this hand is pretty bad. The problem is, even if I'm winning this, there's still a 4th game to be played. And I have 2 minutes, so I'm basically never winning this. Which is unfortunate, but I'm giving my opponent a good fight here. So, I mean, in theory, there is the potential to run him out of time, which I'm not doing here. I'm just trying to play the most magic possible within these 2 minutes. It's almost impossible for me to run somebody out of time when I'm commentating. I'm just so much slower, simply because I go through my decisions and all this sweet stuff. I got Mishra's Factory, first of all because I didn't really want to think too much, but also because I thought it would be a sweet card to have. Island is good here, and it can also attack, which is quite good. Sower of Temptation, alright, that's a good card. Let's see, can I cast this? No, I can't cast all of these cards. So new plan, take this back, cast this, and F6 again. There's an upheaval in my opponent's hand. And now all these cards are in my hand. Alright, I thought that upheaval wasn't too amazing in this cube in particular, but the fact that there are power cards just means it's absolutely insane if you have any of them. Of course, if you don't have any of them, it's also much worse, but this is just how it goes. I think I'm pretty much done here. Vindicate. I hope you're at least enjoying the fact that I'm trying my best here. But at some point it's probably just over. Countered. Okay. Not that it was particularly scary. 59. Don't think I can do it. Sorry guys. I've tried my best. My opponent has a very sweet deck. It's also just much better than mine, I have to say that. Yes, I do, always. Look at this game. We are still so in it. Now, the Solemn alone isn't really doing much, of course, but Aetheling. Can we kill this somehow? I don't think we can. A land would have been nice. I don't know. I think we're dead now. Aetheling is just very, very good. Somehow earthquaking the Aetheling didn't work out, so probably should have cast the better skull. But I figured that maybe the opponent would f6 Ancestral Recall. Alright, that's it. I'm dead here, so I'm gonna concede this just so that I don't run out of time. Hope you've enjoyed this. This has been a fun experience, although quite the powerful one on my opponent's side of the board, at least. We did manage to win a game, and I had a lot of fun. I hope you're enjoying the show. As always, I'm Simon Goldson, getting beaten down by Aetheling, as is the norm in Standard. Well, not anymore, but you know what I mean. Happy New Year. See you in 2014. I'm looking forward to playing more drafts, recording more videos, and if you want, catch me on Twitter and watch the Euro GP coverages if you want. That's definitely something you should do, because I will be at them in the next year. Bye bye.